Alright. So this is basically another commentary of No Way Home. This is the attack on the freeway bridge. Of course, this scene is no longer able to watch due to the fact that the Aplexes took it down a while back, so I can't put it back on. However, I could still play it, but not with audio because of course it will be attacked by Aplex. And let's get right to this commentary. Hopefully this doesn't get a copyright strike because it doesn't have any audios included, just me and my voice talking about the scene and doing anything in full details. So if I do get informed of YouTube, they can immediately get Aplex in trouble for doing something like this, because this is considered fair use. And yeah, when it comes to someone who's just talking about it, they really can't be doing something like that. Okay, so hopefully this will go through and it won't have any problems. So you can tell the first scene, you can see right here, he's basically starting up and you can tell he's walking. It's cool to keep him in the shadow. I like what they did with that shot. In my opinion, they did a good job of keeping him in the shadow before releasing him. And then you have this like stare of between him far away, which is a good perspective. They did a good job right here with the shot by shot scene. It looks like to me that he's like a little bit farther away, but you can tell from his perspective he's trying to figure out what Spider-Man's up to, because again he doesn't realize that he's not in the universe that he's in the Sony side, so he's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's like a multiverse switch. That's basically where he's at, so he has no idea about it. This is just thinking he's back at a different location in New York when it's not his. But the shot is really good. I had to cut it, but it looks like he's pissed. You can tell he's throwing stuff, which everything right here looks good shot each time they show it. And then he grabs them. Right here still looks really good how they kept it in focus. By far I've not seen any issues in my opinion with the shots that they put. You can tell if you go back. Let me see if I can go back right here. You kept them in focus and him as his own respective. He's basically observing his new suit, which he still doesn't mind knowing that he could still overtake him because he has metal as well. However, it's kind of cool how they kept it in his focus in his perspective and put it in Spider-Man's, because they wanted to focus on the villain. And of course the shots that I'm looking at right now, he's actually kept in frame at the same time, trying to put him in a good position. The only problem that I'll have is if you're gonna throw him, at least move this a little bit to the middle, so that way it shows what he's about to do. But rather than that, I don't have a problem too much. You can tell he hit the wall before he gets to there. Everything was shot quick. He gets thrown off to that. And then they show faraway shots. This is alright. There's no problem. I don't have an issue with this one. And then he's turning around. This is where he comes up and he's like a little bit angry. He shows his new weapon behind his back, which is the claw thing, which surprises Octavius, because I cut that part, but it does surprise him. It's just I have to make sure there was not enough talking in the fight scene, so it was cut. You can tell right there they're fighting each other. The shot that I have no problem with by looking at it from my observed point, it's him fighting it, and it looks really good how they put it and kept it in frames. And this is one stunning one, because it's like first you have him in the bottom and then you have him in the top, and they just kept it in his respective of what's going on. And then somehow he completely disappears. That I think they cut that, because that I didn't cut myself. It just instantly cut without him with arms. I think would have been better if he would have went a little bit slower to make him look like he's putting it away. There's no need to be afraid of having him put that back arm away. Just when you put it into a cut, that's the only issue I will say, that please do not cut that, because then it looks weird that at first he has it with his back and then afterwards it disappears. I've seen a lot of videos where the first person is using a weapon or some sort of item, and the next thing you know, you cut and he doesn't have anything on, or something gets completely dismissed, or looks different than the way the shot was originally in the previous frame. So you got to be careful with that. But rather than that, it does look like they have kept him in view. We can see right here how they kept the perspective towards the villain, which is a great shot. There's nothing wrong with it. And you see how it's like everything's moving. Like, it feels like a train. That if you're watching a train and all this stuff going on in the background, that's basically what this feels like. And it kept it in frame. And you had to cut in more of those areas. And then you can see a faraway long shot here where you see him dragging it towards the thing. Oh, I would have moved it a little bit towards the middle angle, because keeping in the middle keeps the audience engaged into the side. You only use side shots if he's like something hanging right here and you want to keep it, because the middle is the important key if you want to do shots like this. So that way you keep the focus around the tension in the middle for the audience to see. Good shot here. I think it shows how he's pinned down. There's nothing he could do, because again, the original Spider-Man had problems too, where he was taken down like that. And then of course you get this shot, how he's pinned down again. So far no problems with these. And then he starts to realize he's not the actual Peter Parker, that he's somebody else. He takes a closer look and realizes it's the situation. And I had to cut it there. Though the way that they shot that shot, let me go back. The way that they did this shot, they wanted to keep him view in frame. Though it's all about angles and positions. If you have the position way off, it kind of, you have to have the audience turn their heads every time, which kind of like breaks the focus of what you're trying to accomplish for the audience. That's what most of the films have to be careful with. Like, make sure you get the shot always at the middle and never have them way to the side, because that really breaks it down. Now this works because you have two people talk each other. That's when you can have them two left and right. That's what it's acceptable to have some shot like that than the previous one, and that's why it works when you're engaging the audience. And of course you can see that as the shot continues, you have another thing that happens, an explosion. But it's always good to keep it right in the middle, because more in the sides makes it harder for the audience to see. See, like this is perfect. You show the shot, even though it's a little bit up, it shows the shot in the middle and it gets the audience engaged, and you can see them right there from my own perspective. Perfect. You see right there, the shot was when the Green Goblin came through. You have them right there in the middle. Perfect angle, perfect viewing, just for the audience to see before it shows up. And of course you get them flying, and it ends it right there. So yeah, that's basically the No Way Home Attack on the Freeway. Alright, so this whole scene, I'm gonna give for the Attack on the Freeway a solid again 8 out of 10. It would have nailed a lot of stuff if it wasn't for those small errors and angle issues. The only reason why I didn't give it a 9 or 10 is to do the fact that even though it's a great scene when you have Dr. Octavius fighting Spider-Man, there is still things that still missing from this, and they could have at least showed more. At the same time, they could have continued keeping the angles in frame, because sometimes the angles are a little bit low, but around that everything was fantastic. I still think it's still a good scene, and hope everyone else does too. Again, thank you again so much for watching. That was my opinion of a point of view towards the scene and my thoughts about each shot by shot that I seen from the film. Go ahead and leave any comments down below this video what your opinions are about this scene, and I'll probably see you on another video from your Zero Pal, Jimmy Pablo. This is on the Orlock 425, signing off. Bye bye.